machshava. The machshava gets ruined, the ma'aseh gets ruined. It's a counter, it's a step. So we say on Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, we're doing the tikkun. We're saying, wait a minute. On one end, we're going to drink this wine. What's the wine? Nichnas yain, yatsa sod. Yain is 70. Yain is 70. What's the numerical value of mal? 40 and 30? 70. On Shabbat, yain, or whenever you're going to drink yain, Purim, you're going to take the gashmiut and mal. You're going to remove the orla. The orla is going to be removed from the physicality. Erev Shabbat. Purim. I want to show you how. It says, V'nahafochu. Purim is all about taking something that was looking like it's down and using it as a springboard to elevate. The Maharal, I heard Rav Lipyansky said that Maharal says that the idea of Netzach is to, it's not to crush the enemy. It's to take the enemy, build him up, and use his upward spiral as a springboard for his destruction and our elevation. Again, it's not just to destroy him. It's to use it as a complete 180. His force to use it for us, for our benefit. Yeah. So look at this. Where do you see this in the Megillah? It says that Haman was rolling dice. He wanted to know if he will be successful. He threw the dice, 3 dice, and it came up 1, 3, 3. 1, 3, 3 is Aleph, Gimel, Gimel. Agag, right? This is Rabbi Mansur brings this down on one of the shiurim. Agag. Agag is the grandfather of Haman. HaKadosh Baruch Hu let him see as if, again, with the physical eye, that he's going to be successful. He wasn't mal. Goyim don't mal. That's why it says on Shabbat, V'lo yishkenu arelim. An arel, a person who's not circumcised, meaning not just physically, but umal Hashem et levavcha. Your heart is not circumcised. You have no place in Shabbat. You want to come to Shabbat, you got to come circumcised. Umal Hashem et levavcha. So Hashem showed him Agag. But if you know the rules of dice, whatever the top number is, the bottom number will add up to 7. So 1, what's going to be underneath the 1? A 6. Underneath a 3 is a 4. And underneath another 3 is a 4. The letters of David. So he showed him that what you think is Agag, I'm flipping it to be David. Meaning, what you think is you're going to see is, we're going to be victorious. Hashem says, no, I'm flipping it around. Nahafoch who? What's who? Where did you see who? So do you remember I told you last week that there's 3 letters missing from the pasuk? Kiyad al kes ya. It's supposed to say Kiyad al kisei Hashem. What are the 3 letters that are missing? Kiyad al kisei. Instead of kisei, it says kes. So it's an aleph. Instead of Yud Kei Vav Kei, it only says Yud Kei. So what's missing? The Vav and the Hey. So the letters that are missing are Vav, Hey, and an Aleph. Otyot Hu. V'nahafoch Hu. We're going to take what Amalek thought that they severed. They thought that they severed our machshava. We're going to take it and we're going to turn it around on them. That same thing that looks like it's going to go down, we're going to turn it back up. What was the turning point of the Megillah? The Mishteh Hayayin. With a Mishteh Hayayin, again, what is a Mishteh Hayayin? Now whenever you're going to read the Megillah, you know what's Mishteh Hayayin. Oh, Mishteh Hayayin. Oh, Yayin Mal. They're talking about the ability to circumcise physicality. That's why Esther HaMalka brings them to a Mishteh Hayayin. That's why the Jews at first wanted to, they tried to make the Jews sin with Yayin. Why? Because what it was saying was, you aren't circumcised. If they sin with Yain, it shows that they were not mal, that they weren't circumcised, meaning that they didn't allow their machshava to penetrate their heart and influence their ma'asim. But Esther turns it around, it flips around and makes it the essence of Purim becomes the Yain. But I'll tell you another chidush. I told you that chashmal is quietness, and mal means loud. I don't have time to go into the whole story. It's a shame, but in a different time. But I'll tell you quickly. Chash means quiet. What was the power of Esther throughout the entire Megillah? That she did not realize, she did not tell anybody her birth, where she was. She was Jewish. She kept quiet. The power of Esther is to keep quiet. Keep quiet. She didn't speak. What's the power of Mordechai? The power of Mordechai is to gather the Jews and to elevate them and to speak. Right away we have in the Megillah Chashmal. On one end we have Esther HaMalka. Her essence was Bitul Atzmi. She didn't exist. She said, I'm going in front of the king. The king, the rule is if you go in front of the king without being called, you're dead. It's Zera Mavet. Maybe next week we will understand. We'll go over the 22nd chapter of Tehillim, Keli Keli Lam Azaftani, that whole chapter which talks about Purim. But one of the phrases in there is that as she's going, the guards are discussing how they're going to divide up her property because they said she's dead, she's done. It says the dogs are looking at me and they're trying to eat me because they're savoring her meat. How is she going to kill her? And all of a sudden it says Achashverosh was angry, was about to kill her, and the malach comes and gives him a slap in the face, swoops him, and all of a sudden she finds chen be'einav. What happened? Who is the king? The king is the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The king in the story is the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Esther HaMalka is the ability to think, to relate to the ruchniut. But how do you do it? You got to bring it down. You got to have a little physicality. That's why the Jews sinned with physicality. There was a physical party. Na'afochu, we're taking the same physicality. Erev Shabbat. We tell the Satan, come inside. Look at our table. The Satan says, wow, all this meat and all this thing, they're going to have a party. Okay, I don't need to be bikatrek here. I don't need to try to convince them to sin. They're going to sin anyway. Little does he know that we're about to use all of it for messages of godliness. Na'afochu. Turn those messages around. Take physicality and turn it upside down and reveal the message inside. So we have a mishteh hayayin, and we took yayin, nichnas yayin, yatsa sod. I'm going to just give you an idea from the top of you look at the words yatsa, if you separate the yud, and you leave yatsa is spelled yud tzadi aleph, yatsa sod, right? The idea of tzeh, 91, you already know what 91 is. We spoke about 91,000 times. 91 is Havaya and Adnut. Yud Kei Vav Kei and Aleph Dal Nun Yud. What does that mean to us? Yud Kei Vav Kei is, I told you, tzedakah. It's the ability to transfer everything into the giver. But how do you do it? You do it through the mechanism called Adnut. Adnut represents our relationship to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on a slave level. We spoke about last week, im ka'avadim or im kabanim. When are we like on the slave level? The slave level means that on one end we are mivatel ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We are mivatel completely. Meaning that we got to the level of the chash. We got to the level of Esther HaMalka. She is quietness. She didn't reveal. Why? Because she doesn't exist. Quiet means not that it's quiet, just physically quiet, but it's quiet because it's undetected. You cannot discern. There's no independent existence. How do we get to the level of independent existence? Abadim. But if you take that yud, and we spoke last week about the yud, right? We spoke about the yud about the machatzit shekel. That the machatzit shekel is 20 gera. 20 gera. 20 is the numerical value of the word yud. You say no, it's not. It's yud is 10, but spell the word yud, vav, dalid. Yud is 10, vav is 6, and dalid is 4. 20. The machatzit shekel is all about bringing the yud into the world. It's all about bringing the yud, bringing the chokhmat Hashem, the machshava, into the ma'asim. So where do you say? I said nichnas yain yatsa sod. Sod is missing one letter, a yud. Then it becomes yesod. Yesod. That's what I told you was the means that by which we're going to transfer everything. When you're giving machatita shekel and you're bringing the machshava back into your ma'asim, you're creating nichnas yain yatsa sod, but flipping the letters around. Nahafochu. Don't read it yatsa sod. Say yesod. Say yesod. It's a command. We'll end with this point this way because we're going to keep going. We're going to get lost here. But the ideas that we should want to bring to our table, Erev Shabbat, Purim, is that whenever you're using the yain, you're not just now going to be drinking a cup of wine. Impossible. You're going to look inside your yain. You're going to look for your metzach. You're going to say, wait, what am I doing? I'm looking with ayin and ayin. You're going to look inside. You're going to, what are you looking at? Oh, I'm doing tikkun brit. I'm doing tikkun brit. I have the ability with my eyes to cleanse my mind. That's why I saw brought down that if a person has inyan of tikkun brit, what should he do? How can he be metaher his machshava? So I think it was the Rambam says, learn Torah, just constantly influx your eyes with just Torah. The fire of Torah will burn out all of the psolit. Just like when you take a coin and you want to be metaher it, you want to take gold and you want to purify it, how do you do? You throw it into the fire and it burns off all of the psolit. So similar thing when a person has a machshava zara machshavo. So what should he do? He should learn Torah because when he learn Gemara, because the Gemara is called the fire. Gemara is called the mikveh of fire. And so when he's dipping in the mikveh of fire, i.e. Gemara, he's being metaher all of the impure machshavot. This is also why a person there's a inyan that a person should, according to Arizal, wash his hands and his legs and his face with hot water before Shabbat. Why? Because hands represent ma'asim. The feet represent the yesodot of the building. And the panim is the ability to recognize. Like it says, that when can you be maniach tefillin talit? Mishayakir. When you will recognize. What are you recognizing? Your friend's face from a distance. So face represents the ability to recognize. Watch that with Gemara. Your hands, you're working. Don't ever think kochi v'otzim yadi. Because it's all in the bitul, it's in the chash. It's in the quietness. In order to attain the lessons, you have to be mal. You have to circumcise. So with that merit, should be mizakeh us, that we should constantly be mitlapshim bechashmal. We should constantly be in a level of chashmal. That the words of Torah that we said tonight and for the rest of the year should be Le'ilu Nishmat Gedaya ben Abraham, Yaakov ben Abraham, Shneshmoto Yetzorah B'Zorah Chaim. That in his merit, in his hatmada, in the passion and ahava that he brought to Torah, in the ability that he was able to see, he was able to be mal the physicality. To him, physicality was just a means by which he got to spiritual, lofty spiritual levels. But in that suchut, he should be a melitz yosher for us, and that his neshama should guide us and the rest of Am Yisrael towards the goal of the Geulah Shlema. That we should be merit, that on Purim we will drink the wine, and we should be merit to nichnas yain yatsa sod, that we should be merit to not just a physical drunkenness, but a spiritual intoxication with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, such that we influence, we realize the message that He's giving to us in the physical world.
Amen. Amen.